Ready to go. Good morning. I got my coffee, got my Major Dickerson. Love me some Major Dickerson. That's my favorite coffee. Got that ready to go this morning. Let me find out what y'all are talking about by bringing up comments. I'm not even sure what I'm gonna talk about today, you guys. I think sometimes you don't have anything prepared. You just kind of want to talk a little bit. So, Stephen, brother Stephen, good morning. No GI multiracial Negroes today, man. I'm had a little fun with that yesterday. So, hey, brother Johnny, Donna, Cheryl, Adrian, Renee. Um, hey Renee, you know what? I know it wasn't Renee. Somebody else sent it to me. I've been watching another video, and I think I might talk about it a little bit. I haven't finished. It's a lecture. Y'all don't know. I have a very, very boring life. You don't ever want to be me. You don't ever want to be me. I walked away. I'm hot. Hold on. I walked away from corporate America and this Western lifestyle a long time ago. I have a boring life. I watch lectures all day long, while everybody is out enjoying the world. I just watch lectures and I try to figure out what in the heck is going on in this world. And the only real reason why is because I'm a father. I'm a father, and I feel that the world we are leaving to these kids is not the world it should be. I think that we're all smarter than this. We're all better than this. We were all, most of us, well, not all of us, okay, most of us, we were raised better than this, and so I was watching a lecture, and I don't think I'm gonna talk about that one just yet. I'm hanging out on the set of the Truman Show. Hey, Sister Olga, how you doing? Yes, Donna, and that's actually what's going on is there's so much bad stuff in the news and I hate it. It drives me insane. And if you don't have like an outlet, this nonsense will drive you insane. It really will. I have friends right now who are cracking. But I didn't know how bad it was. Hey, Buddha, good morning. I didn't really know how bad it was. What was I watching last night? While y'all out living your lives, having fun, going on your dates with your husband or your wife, y'all doing, date night and stuff. Y'all going to bars, looking for women and stuff. I was at home watching some stupid lectures, but good lectures. I'm trying to figure some things out. But no, I didn't know how bad it was between the left and the right. Like, I didn't know. Honestly, because I live in my own little world, and when something looks ignorant to me, I just walk away from it. I don't have time for it. If a group is off in like cuckoo land, I don't pay attention to it at all. And so I really had no idea the fighting between the left and the right and how you had just extreme ignorance on one side and extreme ignorance to the point where there was online credit for like slamming each other, like who could say the most funny, most ignorant, foul thing to the other side, and then they get all these people behind them, and the other side would say something more crazy, messed up, ignorant, and of course it gets to a point where they talk about very important issues in very foolish ways, and it's just I think we're in the Truman Show. I didn't know how bad it was. I think we are in just a crazy world where none of this is true because people are embracing things that they know are completely false, that make no damn sense, and they embrace it because their group tells them to. And this is one of the lectures. I'm about halfway through with it. I'm debating with a sister about some of my stances on with the police. Like I said, my standpoint is I think throughout human evolution, the only way we made it forward is we got really good at doing root cause analysis. We got really good at looking at a problem, avoiding the side effects of the problem, but getting to the core of the actual problem, fixing it so that we can move forward. Because in those days, if you didn't actually fix the root cause of a problem, you would die. If you were busy monkeying around with the side effects of a problem, you would end up dying. You know, we didn't have the ability to be so arrogant and ignorant. But today we got that. We can be arrogant, ignorant. We can be completely oblivious to our neighborhood and our neighbors and have no idea, you know, or had no need for neighbors. And so, so my stance with the police and stuff is just, I don't want to talk about the side effect. Like, I get the police are doing a job, and damn it, no matter how much you protest, no matter what you say, they're going to do their job. Fact. It doesn't matter. Every single one of y'all will get locked up before they don't do their job. And so my point is always focus on the politician. Always go for the big boss, right? Like stop leaning to the side effects, and let's go back to a time and pretend like the life of our kids, the life of the next generation is dependent upon us solving problems, not jerking around with the side effects. And I kind of got a little trouble yesterday. I was talking about, who was that? I think I posted something. Somebody posted something about Kevin Spacey. And I think it was a meme or something. And it said, Kevin Spacey, I want to see him in prison. And let me kind of explain my position on that, right? Like, hey, good morning, Ginger. Good morning, Robert, Rosa, Susan. So my point on this Kevin Spacey thing is, Kevin is a dirty, dirty birdie. And I said it before. I think I simply said something like, to her meme, the meme said, I want to see Kevin Spacey in prison. And I think I said something like, I'd rather see Kevin Spacey get help and the politicians in prison. Why would I say something like that? Of course, we could blow up into crazy land and say, oh, he supports Kevin Spacey. No, that's not what I'm saying. If you watch some of my silly videos, you'll understand Kevin Spacey is a sick dude. It's just that I'm not interested in the side effect. I don't care. Well, I do care. That's the wrong word, I know. I care. I probably care too much. But we got problems to fix, y'all. Like, we don't have time to jerk around with one little jerk. The court will take care of him. And of course he won't get no help because we don't have a system for helping sick people. And so he'll get out and he'll go, if he goes to prison, and he'll do it again. And I'm just like, why are we focused on not solving the problem? If we know the politicians create these conditions where children are raised the way he was in abusive situations, some figure out how to get out of that. Others turn into monsters and they can hide in our society real well. Why? Because we don't have laws that can catch these people easily. We have technology to do it, but we don't deploy the technology to do it. We deploy the technology to other countries to murder people, right? And it feeds into the same thing. So the politicians not only support their laws, the society that they are responsible for, built all this up and creates conditions in starving out the American people so that whether kids are raised in trailer parks, ghettos, or abusive relationships, or very wealthy homes full of abuse, and everybody gets away with it. And I'm just saying, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of talking about person after person after person after person who gets abused and not fixing any damn thing. So I'm not upset with anybody. I don't want anyone to think that. It's just, I think we got to focus, y'all. I think we have to go back to being wise. We got to go back to being smart. We got to go back to, damn it, if the sale if the sale goes through the wall. If y'all didn't see the Truman Show, you got to watch the Truman Show. Because I believe I know we're on the Truman Show. It's not no belief. We are on the Truman Show. All of this is orchestrated because they turn people against each other. Right, left, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, whatever. With Asian and Hispanic, y'all fighting? Y'all fighting? I'm sorry, I didn't know if y'all was fighting. Y'all better not be if y'all don't. Damn it. Look at everybody else. They stupid as all hell. My brother Johnny, Christians and Muslims, everybody fighting. I'm not fighting nobody, man. I don't care. I don't care because at the core of it, I'm a human being. I'm a human damn being. You can put me in any group you want. I'm fine with that. I ain't going to the meetings. You can look at me and say, oh, he's this. He's in the bald group. He's in the purple shirt group. He's in the mustache group. You can put me in any group you want to put me in. I don't give a damn. I'm not going to the meetings. And if I'm with a group of like that and they do something against a human being, I'm going to call them foul. Like, that's how this works. And so one of the lectures I was watching, I was talking about the police and the troops and standing down, right? There was Adam Kokesh, a brother I used to watch a long time ago. And I think he either spearheaded or he is in the group Oath Keepers, great group. It's a group of soldiers after the wars who've gotten together, and they're saying that the American military needs to stand down. And I don't agree necessarily, right? And this is what we were kind of discussing, which is why I'm watching the lecture. I'm open to changing my opinion on every damn thing because I want to learn. That's why I have intelligent people on my page. I don't have ignorant. Well, that's not true. There's a couple of y'all still a little in special land, but but so am I in certain places. But I think everybody I'm interacting with, they want to know the truth, right? Like they want to get down to the bottoms of this nonsense so we can clean this mess up and move forward. And so, but one of their things, they want the military to stand down. And I think that is a very reckless idea. I think it's a very dangerous idea. For the same reason that when I got a few friends who hit me after, yeah, we're going to start the revolution. You ain't going to start no revolution with me. You go ahead and come show up to my door. Say, hey, it's time to start the revolution. You be by yourself. Look, I don't do that. I can shoot an assault rifle as well as anybody else. Been to the gun range. I know what I'm doing, right? I got friends with all the guns and the bunkers and all that stuff. But that doesn't, if we don't look at history and we don't think about all the mistakes we've made, and we don't look at the current times and think about how do we get out of situations peacefully? How do we get out of situations using modern technology in a way that does not get a lot of people hurt? And we need to focus on that. So no, I'm not for the revolution. I'm not for any kind of, no. I mean, those things, if they happen, the first shots are never fired by smart people. Never. First shots are always started with fools, right? If you think about the rule of force and violence. And so I have no interest in that. I have no interest in 5% of the military standing down because you know what that looks like. Either that 5% is all going to prison or a lot of people are going to get killed. So if you can get 100% of the American military to stand down, then we got something. I'm with you. Oath Keepers got it on lock. I'm there. But short of that, all you're going to do is get a lot of people killed. Now, this is for the same reason, I have my stance on Kevin Spacey. I don't care nothing about Kevin Spacey. Getting me to talk about Kevin Spacey is a waste of everybody's time. I want to talk about how did we make a Kevin Spacey? Why is it that we have societies in modern technological times that raise monsters habitually? That to me is the question, right? Look at what the politicians are doing, not just from a destabilization or a just ignoring America poverty perspective, the poverty and the situations they're creating in other nations. We're constantly doing this in other nations every damn day. One of the number one side effects, and I'm getting too serious, y'all. I'm trying not to be serious. This is why I didn't want to talk about the news today. I don't want to be serious, but unfortunately, sometimes there's some things that have to be said. Every single day, trucks load kids into vans, ages 5 and beneath, significantly, to take them away to a lifelong of sex slavery, a lifelong of the worst type of things that you can even imagine. Because one of the number one side effects of war is rape. It's the destabilization, and you don't have a government, you don't have a police, you don't have anything going. The predators can get away with doing anything they want. So I'm not in support of Spacey. I told you before they canceled his show that ain't no way in hell I'm going to watch it again. because he's a monster and a fool. I wish they kicked him off and they kept the show going with other people because, but I guess he still would get paid from that. But it's focus on the root cause. Focus. We've known, the neuroscientists and behavioral scientists have known for decades what happens to children when you raise them in conditions of abuse and scarcity. We could have solved that 20, 30 years ago. We've decided not to. Why? Because it's fun to talk about Kevin Spacey. It's fun to talk about these Hollywood morons that intelligent, well, nah, that's the wrong word. That's the wrong word. That adults who really want to fix problems the way our ancestors did, dealing with the root cause. They want to accept that we live in this fantasy where I'm going to change my background. I'm getting too serious, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm going to change my background. Live in this fantasy world where everybody fake. Everything is fake. Did you know something? I don't want to talk about that. I guess the last point I was going to make on that is, so if the politicians are making these conditions that create massive amounts of sex slavery every damn day, maybe we should focus on that. Maybe if we are really concerned with rape, maybe we should focus on those who are making money from it, not the little side effect monsters who are doing it. The police are for that, right? We have a way to handle them. We have systems for that. We don't have a system to fix the problems. And the fixer of the problems, the system for that, is you. That's why we don't have the system, because you're not doing it, because we're paying attention to Hollywood. And so that's my point. My point is, and if you ever catch me doing it, pull me up. Pull me up and tell me, hang on, I'm in the wrong spot. Let me see if I can move. If you ever see me doing, I look like I'm walking in the crowd. Is my head too big? Hold on. I'll be over here like that. If you ever see me talking about side effects, pull me up. Like that's why I have you guys as friends. That's why you're supposed to have intelligent friends who care. Because when you're off talking about something, or you're spending time making the problem worse, because that's what happens when you spend time with the side effects, you actually make the problem worse. You're perpetuating an issue. If you see me off in perpetuation land, pull me back. Say, hey, brother, hold on. You talking about this, and this, and you need to look at the base of it. Send me a link, send me a lecture, send me a video, send me something, some information, and show me that I'm talking about a side effect. I don't care about the side. None of us should care about the side effects. Whatever the media wants us to talk about, we shouldn't be talking about. Whatever they don't want us saying, that's what we should be saying. I was on the internet this morning. I know the FBI, CIA, everybody looking at me right now like, what the hell is he doing? This crazy mother. I was looking up Iran News Network. Does Iran have a news network? I said, well, why does this dude want to see Iran? Is he a terrorist or he's something? No. Anywhere you want to start a war, I want to hear what the other people got to say. I don't want to hear what you got to say. All my friends are going to tell me what you got to say. I'm going to see it posted all day long on my feed. I don't care about that. If you are in a fight with somebody, I want to know what the other side says so I can make my own judgment whether or not this is a good thing or it's not. And this is where being a true patriot, being a true supporter of the troops comes in. If you really support the troops, and if you are a real patriot, you want to know the actual story, not the nonsense. And so, yeah, now I watched my Al Jazeera, and I watched the other one. I used to watch one from China. I don't know if they still have theirs. I think all China media might be blocked out, but I want to know the whole story. I can form my own opinion, and I can take a stance on something I believe in. And this is that's why it's important to have all the data. You got to have all the data, otherwise you can't make a good decision. And all of these groups and this group ignorance, everybody's into groupthink. Like, when did groupthink become sexy? Like, that drives me crazy. Like, why is groupthink sexy now? Who did that? Although I will admit, I do see like a falling away from like the extreme left and the extreme right, which is a good thing. Maybe we are coming down to a place of common sense again. Yeah, it's Sister Jeannie said it. You know, it's better to know your enemy first. What are you hooping, hollering, and yelling about with side effects until you actually know your enemy? You know, I want to know who makes the Kevin Spaceys. I want to know who's making a lot of money from rape. Why? Because I have friends who've been in those situations. I used to be, nah, I guess I can't say all, I'm not gonna say all the details of it, but there was a little girl, and she was in a classroom I was teaching, and I think she was 13 or 14. You know, in the state of Maryland, and probably in most states, that you can actually sign your child away to be married at 13 and 14 in young ages. I didn't know that. I was flipping out about what was going on in a situation. And so, but the thing is this, I'm not going to go far down that road. I'm just saying that if we don't care to make these problems extinct, they will exist when our kids are around. We have to be humans at the base of it. Sister Lori, and so what I was talking about, Sister Lori, when I said patriot, I'm a patriot. I'm a patriot to humanity first. But when I say patriot as an American, what I'm trying to say is I stand with the founding fathers on the basis that they stood on. Human beings are free all over the world. The American military is not for Wall Street. The American military is not for politics and agendas, and so these morons can sell books. The American military is for what's going on in Yemen right now. That's what the American military is for. If you guys aren't following Yemen, we are on the cusp of one of the largest famines in modern times. We have 7 million people starving. 7 million people because Saudi Arabia will not let UN aid into the country. 7 million people are starving. What is it? Every 20 minutes, a child 5 years old or under the age of 5 dies in Yemen. And I know I probably messed that statistic up. My mind doesn't do what it needs to do. But, you know, we have real issues, and that's what the American military is for. But the problem is the American military, all of our kids who signed up to fight, you know, for the right things, they can't do it because their hands are tied because we are off in Kevin Spacey land. We are off in La La land. We are off fighting the left. We are off fighting the right. Our kids are for Yemen. You know what they're for? You know why we got the biggest, strongest military on the face of the planet with the founding fathers? What that was for? And so when Yemen happens, we say, you know, we'll stand up to Saudi Arabia and say, no, you're not doing that. We will blow you the hell off this planet if you don't let aid in. That's what the military is for. That's what I would have expected to see out of Obama. That's what I've expected to see out of Trump. I don't see it. I don't see it. And I'm not coming down on y'all with the identity politics things. I'm just saying that if you have a heart, if it's got any warm blood beating through it, you have to look at these people like they're people. They're not dogs. That's what the founding fathers, that's why they established the republic. Because we wanted to be left the hell alone. Leave everybody alone. And we want to be left alone. And we lucked up after World War II. We ended up with a massive military that can demand world peace all over the world, which is what all the military want to do. They want to be the heroes. We give them the most powerful weapons in the world. And they're being used for Wall Street to get cheap minerals and oil and resources. And this is the atrocity. This is the atrocity. Is we don't do that root cause analysis. We don't go down to the base of it. That's why I'm always repeating that same line. This is not politics. None of this is politics. This is all about whether or not you got blood beating through your heart, whether or not you're actually paying attention and you understand that presidents don't have their own voice. It's not about Obama. It's not about Trump. It's not about Clinton, not about Bush, not about any of them, because none of them speak for themselves on any important issue where Wall Street can make some money. That's a little serious. That was a little serious. I think that I think it's just it's an exploration of heart. I I think it's an exploration of heart. I think that we have to spend time like really asking ourselves, why are we even in this? Like, what are we here for? You know, if you're watching me, I think you give a damn, right? Like, because I don't like to talk about the stuff that most other people are talking about. And if you give a damn, and that's why you're in it, then you have to be able to say, I voted for this person, but I don't support this. And be loud about it, right? Be loud about it with your other friends who voted for the person. Be loud about it with your other friends who didn't vote for that person, but they voted for another person who was probably going to do the same thing because the deep state runs all of this. Speaking of that, okay, lighten up a little. Speaking of that, do you know, hold on, I gotta make sure I get the numbers right. Do you know that Twitter, and I missed this one, I watched the whole hearing, but it flew past me because I was flipping out and I couldn't choke anybody when Twitter and Facebook and Google were doing their hearing. Did you know 48% of emails that had the hashtag DNC leaks on Twitter were blocked? Blocked. Do you know that half the hashtags that had Podesta emails on Twitter were blocked? Do you know that? I gave Twitter a B plus from that, but from the hearing, I think they just slipped. I think they might be down to C minus land. Why would you do that? If their stance on their platform was we support independent journalism. Is WikiLeaks not independent journalism? Why would you block half the hashtags? Oh no, 25% of Podesta email hashtags and 48% of DNC leak DNC leaks hashtags. You should be flipping out. Sometimes I'll put together a post and I think it's kind of witty and wordy and having some fun with it, like, yay! You ready to send it out, and it automatically gets blocked. You know how that makes you feel? Like, these are things that we should be talking about, which is kind of a very scary thing. If you really, really process that and think about that and know the power of these platforms, which is why I say they pick the presidents, but the power of these platforms, it means that, oh man, I know y'all not going to want to hear this. I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to say that if Russia really obviously didn't do as much as anybody said they did, and it was obvious from the hearing that Russia had almost no influence over the election, and they were blocking anti-Democrat hashtags or Green Party hashtags and Independent Party hashtags, because that's what those are. That means Trump won by a lot more people than what you think. That means a lot more people were anti, and I think most of those votes, again, they're not the nonsense that y'all want to say, like, not racism, and it's not bigotry, and it's not any of that. The vast majority of people who voted for Trump, my friends that I know, it's because they don't like the establishment. That's why. They were the people who grew up raging against the machine and fighting the power. Those were the people, because they understand who the power is, and they understand what the power is, and they weren't confused that just because you put a black face, a female face, a handicapped face, Indian face, whatever they want to come up with next, if a person at the core isn't a human being, if the person at the core isn't standing up for human rights or can't stand up for human rights, they're not going to back him. It didn't mean that they loved Trump. It meant that they refuse to let the establishment continue to win every single election. And it's mostly those people on it's not even a Trump side. I don't want to say that because it's stupid. It doesn't matter who you voted for. But it's those people that the progressives, the moderate progressives, need to be reaching out. Not the ignorant ones. Not the, I love y'all too, but there's some people just aren't ready to try to level up our society. Right? So I went through a whole lot. One thing I did, but the main point I was trying to talk about this morning, which I didn't want to talk about because I want to try to keep it a little light, is just Yemen. You guys, that Yemen has to be viral, right? Yemen has to be viral. Whatever we make viral, the media has to talk about. We should be talking about Yemen. The UN is scared to death of the United States. The UN is scared to death of Saudi Arabia. And it kind of slipped. I was listening to an interview and they kind of slipped and said why. You know, like I said, they always put these little nuggets. They won't say what's going on directly, but they'll put little nuggets. Because I don't think we're in America, we have media that actually is allowed to tell the truth. The little nuggets come in the country every now and then. And one of the UN people slipped up and said, we need to be focused on the people of Yemen and not focused on arms deals, not focused on if whether or not economically it's going to affect our country. And that, to me, kind of you when they kind of stick that, I'm gonna see, maybe I see if I can find it. But when they kind of stick that stuff in there, they're kind of letting you know that anyone who's standing up for like helping the people in Yemen or standing up against Saudi Arabia is going to face some sort of sanctions or economic hit, or they're not going to get their arms from America, because that's really who's behind Saudi Arabia for the most part, is America. And so that's what we need to make viral. We need to make Yemen viral. There are brothers and sisters and cousins in Yemen who need our support. And to me, that's patriotism. That's what we are for. That's what, you know, us who are lucky enough, who won the birth lottery in the United States of America, that's what the world needs us for. The world doesn't need us fighting the left and fighting the right and rallying with the base and all the little dumb, ignorant stuff that we come up with. The world needs us to stand up for them because we lucked out. Very easily, we could have been born in Yemen. Very easily, we could have been born in Syria. Very easily, we could have been born in Russia or anywhere else. So just because you're born in a place doesn't mean that you're allied with the 1% government from that place. Because you're born in a place, you still need to know that you're a human being. And at the core and the base of it, you got to be human. And in that lecture I'm watching, I'm going with the, you know, with the troops standing down, you know, at the base of it, you have to be a human first. You can be a soldier if you want to be. You can be a Baptist. You can be a Muslim, Islam, Hindu. You can be anything you want to be, police officer, whatever. But at the base of it, you got to be a human being. At the base of it, I'm a human being. Mainly because I've seen enough things in my life, and I don't care nothing about none of your groups. If a group does something wrong, I'm going to say they're wrong, and I'm going to stand up against it, and I'm going to call foul, foul. I don't care about where that puts me. I don't care about what friends I lose. If it's dirty, it's dirty, and I'm going to call it dirty. You know, and I've lost a lot of friends because of that, but that's okay. It's called, to me, it's called being an adult. Being an adult that gives a damn. Being an adult, what adults always were. And we got to go back to being those kind of adults. So let me see what y'all are talking about. I'm off on my platform with all these fake people walking behind me. I think we are in the Truman Show, y'all. Because this is crazy. I think all of this is just, it's orchestrated. We get up in the morning, look in the mirror, somebody's looking back at us. You know, what are they up to? You ever wonder, I wonder how many pictures they have of me on the toilet. Because sometimes I use my phone in places maybe I shouldn't. But don't lie, because y'all know y'all do. So don't even start that lying stuff. Y'all know sometimes your laptop, you're on the pot, you know. So I just wondered, and sometimes the NSA like, oh, damn, nope. It's too early in the morning. We can't look at this camera. We're going to see some things that nobody ever supposed to see. So, yeah, Sister Jeannie, and it's like the corporations, Sister Jeannie said, the corporations have gone rogue. And they have, which is why I don't think anybody's in control of this. I don't think anybody's in control. I think that the 1% and the corporations are all fighting over all of this. Now, they all rally with their base. They all understand that we are the enemy. But for the most part, they're fighting for more power, more control, the same way they do in every neighborhood. And you got to remember who you are. You are a human being, and you're a 99. In the next group, at the base, you're a human being, because the 1% is human too, and the 0.01%, they're human too. They're psychopaths, but they're human. But the next grouping that you should be associated with isn't a nation. It's the 99%, right? Because that's your next group. The next group is you are You have a handed down heritage of not having ignorant wealth in the billions, right? Which meant that your ancestors were screwed somewhere along the line. And so, if you want to rally with your base, then rally with your true base. It's not what television tells you it is. Brother Johnny, I didn't get you say something went wrong. Don't know what, but something went wrong. I'm not sure what went wrong. Sister Jeannie said, a patriot is not about stars and stripes. It's about the imposed principle behind it. Exactly. The principle of what the founding fathers started this country on. We have a chance to turn this whole thing around. This is why I'm hopeful, because if Americans go to sleep one night, wake up the next day and say they've had it, man, you're going to have world peace like you've never seen before. Because the politicians, they're scared of you. They're scared to death of you. All of y'all scared the hell out of them. And if y'all actually get together and agree on some things, like we shouldn't be creating virtual starvation and virtual famines in Yemen because Saudi Arabia doesn't like Iran, or they don't like what happened in Syria. Hey, Sister Lynn, no, I don't know Sybil Edmonds. I don't know who Sybil Edmonds is. I don't know everything. I don't know nothing. Like I said, I'm only here because I don't see a lot of intelligent discussion on this stuff. I just see ignorant people on sides. There's some people who are coming out, I think. The only reason it was a book growing up that I love. Sister, it was called My Side of the Mountain. It's a boy who ran away from home and lived in a tree. I wanted to do that my whole life. If there wasn't a lot of ignorance going on in our country, and adults, children parading around in adult costumes, acting any way they want, causing all kind of problems in our country, which reflect in the world because our military can't go help the people that need help and stand up against the foul country 1% country leaderships that we all put in place. That's the only reason I'm here. Otherwise, I find me a hollowed out oak tree somewhere on the side of a beautiful mountain, overlooking a lake, some deer and elk in the background. I'd have me a little cabin, or I'd be in a tree, and I'd be good to go. Carve me out a little window. Damn it, I gotta have my Wi-Fi though. Gotta have a little place to plug in. That's where I'd be. Yeah, we have to drag these things out into the light, Renee, and that's it. And that's what I'm saying. We have to make the things go viral that makes sense. And that's why I posted the thing about Kevin. I didn't want to post anything on Kevin Spacey again, but because I see everyone's talking about it, I want to make sure I put my 2 cents in. We should not be talking about it. I don't give a damn about Kevin Spacey. They already got him. They already got the details. Somebody come out talking about him. We need to go ahead and talk about, well, where did he come from? Who made him? How did he come about? How come nobody helped him? Where was child protection? What else can we get them to do that? Who are the legislators who put this stuff in place? Who are the legislators responsible for child protection? Why doesn't it work? What in the hell is going on? Why did it fail him and everybody else? And so those are the important questions I think we need to ask that we don't ask. So I don't care about Kevin. Newsbud. Okay, Sister Lynn, I have to check out Newsbud. Yeah, I'm familiar with the Corbett Report. I watch James Corbett. There's a whole bunch of people I watch. When I guess who do I tend to watch? I tend to watch people who turn on their group. That's what it comes down to. I tend to watch people who say unpopular things because they're true and they have facts behind them, not because they're popular. So I have to check out Newsbud. I think I'm thinking about earbuds. That's something different. Is that different, Sister? Earbuds, Newsbuds, something different. I had to check that out. Yeah, Jeannie, there are always ways around it. I've never used hashtag trending. I didn't know that actually was a thing. I have to look at that. I try to hashtag and I say crazy stuff, but I probably need to take hashtags more serious. Hashtag Hillary. I think she kind of disappeared though, didn't she? I think enough stuff finally came out on her. I don't think she's gonna run in 2020. I I don't, but you know, I don't know. I've seen crazy. This is the Truman Show. I've seen crazier things happen. It could just be that they're actually seriously going to run her. I boggles my mind. Um, uh, Even Feinstein said no Russia interference. You know, I didn't know Feinstein said that. I thought in the interview and the hearing she was pretty rough on Twitter, Facebook, and and not Google, because Google was a sellout. Google sold everybody out. Google was like F Americans. Speaking of, did y'all know six? Who is it? Who is the cat? Bezos, the guy that's behind Amazon and the Washington Post. Do y'all know he has a $600 million deal with the CIA? $600 million contract, and that's probably only the one that we know about. I will never look at the Washington Post again. I will never post anything from them again. That is insanity. Um, yeah, you know, and there's something about you're talking about MLK. There's something that's coming out. We were talking about JFK, and of course they didn't release all the files, and they whited out a lot of the files. They redacted a bunch of the files. They re-released some old stuff, and they held. It's speculated now that they held up to 30,000 other documents on who murdered JFK. Anytime your government wants to lie to you and they don't want you to know the truth, there is nothing ingenuous in what they are doing. There is nothing good about anything they're doing. That's why I say the government can't have any secrets. Anybody that has a secret from you, it's never in your best interest. It's actually always against your best interest. And so we need more of those fight the power, rage against the machine adults to come back and get rid of these, let's just live in the Truman Show like everything's normal and everything's okay. But yeah, no, there's another release that's coming out on the wiretaps from the MLK murder. And there's something else that's coming out in the next few years. And so, but these are things, again, we shouldn't have no secrets. If another thing I put on my platform, if I was dumb enough to be a president I would support, big time would be a president who ran on there will be no more secrecy. We're done with secrecy. We're going to release every file so all Americans can know what they've been paying for, what this government has always been up to, so we can actually fix the root cause problems with our country. If we actually fix the root cause problems with our country, we will fix the root cause problems with the world. We will hand the world to a generation that they'll just cry when they're born. We'll be like, is it Switzerland or Sweden? One of those countries where everybody just happy and they're running around and they just jumping. Everybody's happy and they're born. They got food and water. And, we'd be one of those countries, and we can do that for the world. But it means our government can't have any secrets, none at all. And the rest of the world will fall in line with that, because whatever we do, everybody else does, whether it's ignorant or good. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the media, but I didn't want to really talk about it too much this morning. As Yemen is important, and that's not like a happy topic. I kind of want to be a little bubbly. Sister Lori said, "Oh, good morning, Lori. Most think of patriotism as war supporting." Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. Which is why I like to use the word patriot, because it's not. If you are a human patriot, it's defending peace. And I think there are a lot of places that our soldiers need to get deployed, because let's face it, people tremble in their when our boys and girls show up, right? And that's what we're there for. We're not there to be thugs for the mafia. We're there to make sure that you act right. And that's what every friend I got that's in the military, those are the type of cats they are. They are not ignorant. They're not foul. They're not crazy. They're not any of that. These are the guys, they want to be in the battle. And they know how to take it. These are some trained people. They know what they're doing. But they want to make sure they're doing the right thing. And that's why I think the troop suicides are so high. Yeah, so I'm kind of pushing through, see if y'all I had a joke. I won't say it. I won't. This too. I got to keep it clean. Something funny happened yesterday. I was laughing about it. I'm not gonna say it. Um. Yeah. The pot is great thinking time, Lynn. It is. I get on the pot. In fact, sometimes I cheat. You know what the pot. I was trying to think of the thinker statue. Was he sitting on a log or sitting on the toilet? I don't remember. But sometimes before I go in, I get my coffee first. Mm. Get a good swig of coffee, sit on the pot. It's something about stuff going out lets a lot more oxygen in. And I think it makes our brains work better. So, but anyway, um, borders are for fighting over. Right. Yes. And I think, Laura, you might have pulled me to that thing. I'm a big anti-border guy. I think I posted something yesterday. One of y'all, I love y'all's pages. Somebody posted something which showed the Native American breakdown, tribal breakdown across the country, and it was awesome. And I think I am officially a Pennsylvania citizen of the Lenape land. I think it would be kind of funny if we all like bought into and identified the first known humans that we remember that lived on the land, and we kind of attached them to our state designation. I think that would be kind of funny. So it was good. I have a lot of friends. Actually, I got a friend. He's a Lenape down the street, and I used to spend a lot of time in on the eastern shore of Maryland and Delaware, and there are a lot of big communities down there. So I appreciated that, and it was good. It was good, and it's healing to see and know these things, and um, I think that would be interesting. Uh, Hannah said, "Make sure to click nothing wrong on these videos. They're trying to censor us. Click nothing wrong." I didn't know. Is there a new button or something that we're supposed to click that we can show that it's not spam or something? I didn't know that. This is why I appreciate y'all. Y'all keep me up to speed. I don't know these things. Oh, okay. Sybil Edmonds works with James Corbett. Okay. James is off the hook. If you guys don't watch James Corbett, you need to watch James Corbett. James, he doesn't pull no punches. That brother, and he'll do his research. He was the one who did that. He did the one I posted. Was it 2 or 3 weeks ago? How big oil stole the world and why big oil stole the world. But he's the one who he's posting the data on some of the climate change nonsense too. So that's going to be a good debate. That's going to be a real good debate. What is my position on climate change? Like I said, I don't know. I don't know anything. I think that I know that things are changing. That's what I know. Things are changing. Are they changing for the next 100 years? Or are they changing for the next couple thousand years? Or are they changing for the next year? That is something that I think only microbiology and God know. That's my belief. I don't think that anybody that I know is smart enough to know that. So I think our focus is to help people prepare for all of this stuff that's changing and not attack each other about who's doing the worst changing, if it's the coal mines or the wars that we're starting. I think we kind of let that go a little bit, and we try to figure out, how do we keep people from drowning in Vietnam because the storms are getting so bad. Yeah, and a lot of ex-CIA whistleblowers are coming out. Oh, it was an awesome one I posted yesterday. Brother came out, blew the hell out the whistle, and that was back in 2014. They're coming out and they're saying that CIA is corrupt. But that's why Brother Ron Paul came out. Y'all thought he was crazy. I didn't. I voted for him. Yeah, I voted for Ron. I'm a Ron guy. Ron and I don't agree on everything anymore, but I'm a Ron guy. I voted for him when he said, in the CIA, just shut it down completely. They should not exist. The CIA is probably 99.99% of why every terrorist exists. They're why all the drugs in our country are there. They're why all these American kids are dying from drugs. They're why the prison systems are full. And so when Ron Paul said in the CIA, y'all shouldn't have said he's crazy. You should have said why. That's what you say when somebody says something that's crazy or you think it's crazy. Ask him why. Because he was in Congress and he knew this. He knew that they don't serve the American people. They serve big corporations and their own interests. And they have too much influence around the world, and all that blowback comes back on us. And all these ex-CIA guys are saying it, and gals are saying it, but you're not listening. CIA needs to go away. That's not crazy. Let me see. CPS barely started in 1970s. Yeah, you know what? The thing I think about that, Lori, is before Child Protective Services was there. You know what we had? We had things called churches. Brother Johnny about to flip out. He's about to hit me. Oh, Christian, you know, he's about to hit me. But before that, we had people who looked out for people. I grew up and I had no idea who was in my family. I had a grandmother that would just take everybody in, feed everybody. People lived around the house on both sides of my family. And we had no idea who even a relative was because we always took care of people. The kid down the street that was hurt and needs some help, you helped them. I think there's something to that. I think there's something. This is why I want y'all all to start gardens. This is why I want you growing. There's something about when you have to care for things. It changes you. It does. I care for thousands of plants. It's changing me big time. It changes you when you have to care for somebody that lives down the street, when you have to take somebody in, when you're looking out for people, it changes you. It takes you away from like a lot of, I don't think we're designed to not care for things, whether it's a dog or some cows, cats, trees, animals, whatever. Like, I think there's something about when you have to care for other things, it changes who you are. And plus, it feeds into your reward system, which is how, again, we know that we are not some crazy warmongering species. That's all a lie. It's a lie by authoritarians so that they can inflict these governments to write a whole bunch of laws to tell everybody what to do. That's not us. Our reward system is activated when we do good things for other people. Is Bethel CIA? I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised at all. FBI murdered MLK. If you know what, Sister Lynn, I thought that either they murdered him or they assisted the guy who did it, or they just didn't say anything and they stood back and watched it, which is what they did in Charlottesville, which is what they do everywhere. You can't convince me that they don't know what's going on. They just let the stuff happen. And that's why I don't think they should have a police state. And all the security devices and cameras and all the stuff they have, wiretapping, I don't think they should have any of it. None of it. I don't care if that makes us exposed to anything. It's never used for terrorism. When? When have they ever stopped a terrorist attack? Never. When have they ever helped with a murder investigation? Never. When have they ever stopped somebody from being raped? Never. When have they done anything about gang violence? Never. When have they stopped a mass shooting? Never. So why in the hell do we spend $10 billion for all this security surveillance and nobody knows why in the hell they're there? I think it all needs to go away. And you can build something up and replace if you want, but right now, none of this is being used for the American people. Is Switzerland crooked? I believe it's Sister Lynn. I threw it out there because I know there's some happy countries that love each other and love their babies and stuff, and they actually care for their citizens, not like the United States. And so there are happy countries out there, but I do believe that the vast majority of countries are all in league with the 0.01%, because that's how all of this works. If you go back and look at eugenics, like the whole eugenics thing, why in the world would most world governments get together on killing people that they think shouldn't exist, that have bad DNA? How do you do that? With money. And that was the Rothschilds. And so if you control the opposition and the 0.01% control all the countries, then to me, I think to a degree, they all have to be crooked. They all have to be corrupt. So that's why I don't fall into like all the nation stuff where this nation is fighting that nation, this nation's fighting this nation, this might start World War III and this nation did. I don't really believe a lot of that. I think a lot of that's a lie. To me, I just see a lot of 1% playing games with the 99%, you know, and for them, it's like a bet. It's like I said about Trump and Clinton. I swear up and down, I think that they were sitting at the dinner table one night in the 1% dining hall, and they were like, you know what, Hillary, I don't like you. And she said, you know what, Trump, you stink. I'm going to be president. And Trump said, no, you're not. And Hillary said, well, damn it, I bet you $1. Took out $1 from the Clinton Foundation, Trump got $1 from the Trump Foundation, and they betted $1 to see who would win the presidency. And they laughed, and then they all went and had brandies and went golfing and stuff, and played, had some orgy with some kids. So, all right, I know now somebody gonna say something bad about me because I said that. I don't believe any of this. I grew up around some really ignorant, wealthy people. I didn't get to play with them, play with the kids, but those people don't give a damn. They don't care about anything but green, and they get other people squabbling, and they laugh and they joke about all the money they make and the power they have. And to them, it's funny when if they can push one of the 1% down to the 2%, 3%, or just make them poor or make them jump off a Wall Street building. It's funny to them because they're sick people. They're sick. I'm gonna say, okay. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to get in trouble. I'll put it this way. If you got $1 billion in the bank and that fits a whole lot of people, a whole lot, you're a sick bastard. You are. Who keeps $1 billion in the bank in a world that's starving? Who does that? That's a psychopath, yo. Well, okay, maybe that's a very scared person. That's a person that has a lot of fear, and they're trying to hold on to what they have. Maybe they got a plan for the future, like it's possible, I guess. But the vast majority of people if your neighbor didn't have some food, and you had $1 million in the bank, you mean to tell me you wouldn't send them over a plate of food? You wouldn't try to get them a job. You wouldn't help them out, have them sweep the front yard, cut your grass, do stuff just to make sure that they had some money. Of course you would, because you're a human being. So think about it. Somebody got $1 billion in the bank. People, these are not people we should be electing into government. These are all people in league with all the other corrupt people around the world, which is what Saudi Arabia, we're not even talking about that. These monsters, they're like throwing people out of their government now. They're purging. The new king just purged a whole bunch of people, which something is going on. Something is going on. That's all I'm saying. And it's always going to be us dying. It's going to be 99%. We all going to be dying. They're going to all make a whole lot of money, and they're going to laugh all the way to the bank with tears in their eyes, like, oh, people got hurt. Let me go down to the last of the comments, see if anything. CIA is the U.S. Mafia. Totally on it, Sister Mary. Makes a lot of sense. Lori always loved Ron Paul. I still love Ron Paul. And I like Rand Paul. I do. I think his son is following in his foot. I wasn't a big Rand guy at first, but he's slowly starting to fall into his father's footsteps, and I'm appreciating that. But I'm glad he's out of government because I think they were going to kill him. I don't think Ron was going to make it. He was too much yelling at the Democrats and the Republicans, and they pushed him so far out of popularity. I knew they were going to kill him at a certain point, and so he stepped down. So I'm glad he stepped down because now he's talking. If you don't watch the Liberty Report, which is his show, you should watch it. He always has some good content. But yes, we got to be givers, not takers, because that's who we are. Human beings, we serve one purpose on this planet, y'all, and that's love. That's it. We can think and we can love, and we suck at everything else. Like really, and I'm an automation guy. This is my background. I in terms of building, automated systems, and we suck at digging ditches. We suck at making houses. We suck at everything. We suck at fighting wars. We suck at everything. We do great at love, and that's why our reward system. When you treat somebody like crap, you feel like crap because your reward system is not designed for being angry and hateful. And that's why any archaeologist that tells you that human beings are violent species, they're an idiot. Your very body, your very genetics tell you what you are. You get a reward anytime you do something good for somebody. It makes you feel good because that's what you are. When you do something bad, it makes you feel like crap. Think about that. We need eugenics to eliminate psychopathy. Well, I love psychopaths too, y'all. I do, because we're supposed to. That's what we are. Do we need to kill them? I can't go there. I think that a society as a whole has to make those decisions. I think we can do a lot of creative things. I don't think I'm not a violent guy. I don't believe in violence. not passive by any means, but I'm not a violent guy. I'm not the guy to throw the first punch. I will throw the last. I will not fire the first shot, but I will be shooting the last. But I don't think violence is the right answer. I think if we take on the solutions of the violent government we have, then we're no better. We're no better. When it comes to psychopathic people, I think you have to listen to the people who work with psychopaths. I believe in professionals, right? Let the professionals talk. Not the professionals that work for the big corporations, because they lie. They got mortgages to pay. But let the professionals talk. And the research with people who have those genes activated, right, where they have no empathy, they have little fear and aggression, and they have to do things to hurt people in order to feel good. I think that those, they say that they can help a lot of them, and so, I leave it up to them. They can help them, they should help them, but by no means should they be allowed to stay in this, walking around with other people. If you Kevin Spacey and you're out raping people, or you're out whatever Bill Cosby and you're drugging people, then you can't be out here with normal people. You can't. If you are destructive and you are dangerous, you can't be around human beings. You can't be around our brothers and sisters. You got to go. And I lead on this. And if you are implicated in any sort of destructive behavior, if you are a piece of a destructive system that's killing, murdering, or hurting human beings, then you got to go. And that's why I always say currency has to go. The dollar bill has to go. Currency is the number one reason no form of government will ever work. No matter what you do, no program, no process, no system, wherever, because if the basis of your system is currency, then that's going to always be the priority, because that's just how it works. If we don't make the basis of our system people, then we're always going to have some sort of corruption that's always going to grow and eventually take things over. Brother Robert said, anyone else feels that our national media has become so large and corrupted that they need to be broken up. Ooh, and that actually is a great topic, Robert. That's a great topic, because how did we get here in terms of like the breakup, the FCC bill that Clinton did, where they broke up independent media, and then all the mass media companies started gobbling everybody up, and they became these big, massive media companies where just one board at the top could determine what every journalist said on every TV station all around the United States. That's where we lost our independent journalism. And when we lost our independent journalism, we lost, the ability to fight any type of censorship. We lost our little private, radio stations where, you always had the dissenting voices. And so the mainstream media is worthless. It's just completely worthless. Like, I don't even bother with it. I don't watch it. I don't watch the YouTube clips. I don't watch any of it. It's just, if you think about it like this, that's the last thing I'll say, and I'm shut down. If you think about it, when we were kids growing up, we used to go to the drive-in movie theaters. You guys remember those? And you always used to have, you go right through the middle of the movie, you always start getting hungry. And I always wonder, why is the line for popcorn so damn long? Like, I didn't like getting popcorn. I hated to be the one to go get it, because you'd miss half the movie, a quarter of the movie, standing in the lines. It's because they used to flash popcorn, flashes, like every 100th, slide, they have a picture of popcorn, people smiling, eating popcorn and stuff. And so this is flipping through, and it's making us hungry. We all want popcorn, so everybody's drinking. I think they have subliminal messages in the media where they tell us what to do. Like, you're watching a news report and you're processing the data, but you know how easy it would be for them just to flip pictures or just have different things in just watching the video that actually walk you into believing that that's true. If you ever like watch something and like say they lie and they say that Assad attacked kids with some sort of chemical weapon again, which was all a lie, because he never did, never once. They could flash images of kids being killed and people dying from chemical gas, and it'll anger you. And I think that they can walk you into believing things that aren't true. And that's what we have to process. And so the last outgoing president, passed that, what was that, the Propaganda Act. But the propaganda stuff, it's always been there. It's been in the NDAA. I mean, going back, I think earliest was like 2013 or something. They always have stuff in there that makes it legal for them to lie to you and try to make you believe what they want you to believe. So all that's got to stop. All of that has to stop because every president's going to use it, not because they want to necessarily, but because they're told what to do, because we don't hold them accountable. We don't do any root calls. We don't stand up against our own groups. And so none of our leaders speak for themselves. So, but anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. I want you guys to enjoy your walk around the Truman Show and always call out fakes when you see them. Always talk about something true. And if you're sailing that ship in the sky, you poke a hole in the side of the wall, you reach the end of the earth, you reach the end of the earth, let me know. Call it out. Call it out because we need the Truman Show to come to an end. We need to walk out. What did he say? What was his final words? Thank you, good evening, and good night. And we need to go back to reality. Anyway, love y'all. Y'all have a good day.